Welcome to a Fortnight on the Isle, my bi-weekly update series where the setup is a little bit different, as you can see. I actually got a green screen. I'm happy to say that this last fortnight I was actually able to get some things accomplished with regards to the office rearrangement, like I believe I mentioned. And sorry, you're going to have hand cut off over on this side of the screen because that's as far as my camera frame with the green screen goes. It's just something we'll have to deal with. But as I was saying, I have a green screen now. I actually have a pretty neat little setup going on in here that I'm pretty happy with, and the rearrangement is actually complete. The last fortnight was pretty successful. I didn't forget about making this video until the morning of, like I did last time, and I've got a lot of other fun stuff going on. Basically, all of the remainder of my February content will actually be recorded using this green screen. I might have to adjust the placement of the green screen based off of this little hand thing over here, but this is all learning as I go. This is my first time doing anything like this, but it's not just, you know, recording projects and all this kind of stuff that has gone pretty successful the last couple of weeks. A lot about my time spent doing various things the last couple of weeks has been pretty successful. Actually, most of it's just been in the reading. So let's jump right on into the bi-weekly reading like I always start off with. First thing that I want to mention is that I did finish reading Sphere, the second book in this little collection. You can see that my green screen is actually doing a very good job. It's only cutting out very specific tone of green rather than general greens. That's happifying, but anyway, yeah, I did finish Sphere. I believe I was about halfway through part 2 in the last one of these updates. I finished the book. I would say part 2 and part 3 especially were my favorites of the book. The ending I thought was good. The ending I thought was fitting for what the book was doing. But overall, like, part 4 didn't fully satisfy what I enjoyed about parts 2 and 3 so much, so that's something that's a little bit more variable and that I might have to, you know, think a little bit more about. But that was one thing that I got done these last couple weeks. I was pretty early on in the fortnight when I finished that. My apologies, I've just got some stuff moved around on my desk because of the new setup, and I'm getting used to that. The next thing that I did over the last couple weeks was I read Cujo by Stephen King, managed to get through all of this, and I liked this a good bit more than I was expecting to, actually. I kind of went in with relatively low expectations, given that it's a pretty middle-of-the-road read for a lot of the people that I know. Is definitely not one that's considered to be a top-tier Stephen King read, despite being pretty iconic for all intents and purposes. But I enjoyed this a lot. Quite frankly, I really enjoyed it, actually. I was willing to give that a full 4 stars, and I thought that I might give it 3. And it didn't start off super great. Like, I actually had some issues with the way it started off. It was kind of like missing a little bit of Stephen King magic flair, I guess. But overall, the back half definitely satisfied and brought it back around for me. The next thing that I read was a surprise hit. I was hoping to enjoy Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami, but I was not expecting to love it like I did, because I truly did love this book. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. I loved basically every minute of it, and overall it just really satisfied everything that I was kind of expecting for it to be, based off of not just reputation but also like kind of what people told me to expect from it in several regards. And overall, like, it just really worked for me, man. Like, I really loved this book. I wasn't expecting to have competition for my book of the month this month, and we'll talk more about book of the month here in a video on the main channel in a couple of days. More on that later. But not only do I have another book of the month contender in here, I also have a second book of the year contender in here. That is how much I enjoyed Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. The only other things that I got read was I actually read a secret short story by Christopher Rocchio. I don't know how much I can say or when I can say anything about it, but it is something that I was able to read here pretty recently, and whenever other people are able to get their hands on that, they're going to really like it. It was fantastic. I can't say anything more than that. But that was really great. And then I think the only other thing that I read over the last couple weeks was I technically finished Girl from the Other Side. I believe I talked about this in the last one of these episodes, but I do not believe I had actually read Volume 12, that bonus volume, yet when I recorded the last one of these. If I hadn't, then yes, I finished that Volume 12. It was very cozy. It was very good. That was the only remaining update for that. The only thing that I can say that I've done on the reading sphere these last couple weeks was I started The Gathering Storm, book, what is it, 11 of, no, sorry, 12. This is book 12 of Wheel of Time, and I've gotten, I want to say it's like around 100 pages read, just under 100 pages read out of like 750. So, you know, I've made a good headway, given that I've only been reading this for a couple of days now. But overall, really enjoying it. Has started off pretty solid, and I'm looking forward to continuing. But that, I believe, is all that I have for the bi-weekly reading. Let's talk about the bi-weekly gaming. I did not play anything this last fortnight, but this is the last time I'm going to be able to say that for a little while, and that is because while I did not play any Alan Wake Remastered like I planned to, I'm going to be recording that this weekend. At the time that this video comes out, I'm probably halfway through that game or so, because as soon as I'm done recording this video, plus a couple other videos today, I'm going to be starting to record and plow through that game for Let's Play stuff. So that is something that is on my docket. Part of what I was doing with my office rearrangement as well was I also acquired a Switch 2, so that's something that I have now. But I haven't touched it yet, basically, aside from setting it up. But this is something that I might actually be using a little bit here in the nearest future, because I do really want to actually play, maybe even finish Tears of the Kingdom, and do that with the Switch 2 version, since it'll run better that way. No idea if that'll actually happen, probably not, but that is something that I acquired recently, hopefully to be able to use soon. The other update on the gaming side, like I said, even though I haven't played anything these last couple weeks, alongside recording Alan Wake this weekend, here starting very soon, I'm going to be live streaming Ghost of Yote, so I will be playing that here in the nearest future, live streaming that on weekends on the second channel. So, you know, this fortnight will be when I start that. As for the bi-weekly cinema, I do have a mildly unfortunate news in that I was planning to see Markiplier's movie, Iron Lung. I was going to see that on Thursday, because based off of, you know, where the movie's actually showing and where I live and, you know, other stuff like that, the only reasonable time for me to go see a screening of that was actually going to be like the very first screening over in the city a couple hours away on Thursday. Because that was going to be at 5 p.m. as opposed to literally all of the other screenings that are available for it are at 7 or 10 p.m. and living 2 hours away, that's just a little bit much, especially with the unpredictability of weather and ice and roads and stuff like that where I live. So I don't think I'm going to be able to see this. The reason I did not go to see this on Thursday like I planned to was because I went out to start my car and my battery was dead. It was a pretty old battery. It was kind of on its last legs, but it was literally just this week when it decided to go out. So I got that replaced, got other things with the car taken care of this fortnight. But yeah, it prevented me from being able to take that trip to go see Iron Lung. So it's a pretty low chance that I actually go see that in theaters now. It might just wait until it's streaming. Also, these last couple weeks, my mother discovered that I actually owned MacGyver, and so we started watching some of this together as a family. Not really much to say about that other than MacGyver's nostalgic for me. We watched a lot of that back when I was a good bit younger, and the theme music is incredible, but we haven't watched very much. But it might be something that I continue to watch semi-regularly with family. Not really anything else to update there. As for anything else I plan to watch in the next, 2 weeks, I don't have any concrete plans at this point, so I don't have anything to announce. What I do have to announce, however, is upcoming releases, so videos coming out on my couple of channels. I have actually have a pretty stacked schedule this fortnight. I have, what is the number there? 5 videos this week and 5 videos next week, plus a couple live streams. So yeah, we have a good bit to go through. So starting tomorrow on the 2nd will be Music Mania episode 22, ranking the 6 new January albums and EPs that I listened to. So that should hopefully be actually a pretty short Music Mania episode for once. On Tuesday, that will be on the second channel, by the way. On the main channel on Tuesday the 3rd will be the book binge. That'll be my regular monthly reading wrap-up and TBR. So honestly, a lot of what I already talked about in the reading of this update today will be kind of rehashed, but I'll probably expand a little bit more upon all those ideas in Tuesday's video, just to be able to talk more about them. Plus, you'll get more insight into what I plan to read over this month in general. This Wednesday on both channels will be my February State of Affairs video, so my monthly update going over everything that happened on the channel and kind of just broader scale update stuff rather than the more, talking specifics about all the entertainment stuff like I normally do for these videos. That'll be on Wednesday. On Thursday the 5th on the main channel, we'll be starting the Wheel of Time diaries for The Gathering Storm. So that'll be episode 62 of that first episode on The Gathering Storm. I believe that'll probably cover the prologue in chapters 1 through 12, I think. 1 through 11, 1 through 12, somewhere in that range. So right around the first 200 or so pages of the book. And then on Friday the 6th, optimally, because I'm going to be recording this today, the first episode of the Alan Wake Remastered Let's Play should be coming out. I'm going to try to have that whole Let's Play recorded this weekend, or as much of it recorded this weekend as possible, and then I'll be spending some time next week alongside the regular monthly video routine that I normally do, editing as many of those as possible so I can actually have that Let's Play done and then start focusing on further Let's Plays and not have like a multi-month gap of Let's Plays like I did these last few months. And then on the 7th, on Saturday, on the second channel, will be something pretty similar. I'm going to attempt to make that my first live stream for Ghost of Yote. So I have done a few live streams over there at this point, all for Little Nightmares Let's Plays back in 2025. I played the third game, and then I went back and played 2 and 1. I did all that in October, and I've been intending to do some gaming stuff live more regularly over there for a while, and Ghost of Yote, I'm finally circling back around to that because I planned to do that when it released in October, fun fact. Now I'm finally going to get my chance to play it like I wanted to. Should hopefully start this Saturday. Next week, I again have pretty stacked schedule, 5 more videos coming out for you. Next Sunday, a week from today, on the 8th, this will be actually a joint effort between both the main channel and the second channel, will be my top 10 book adaptations I want to watch. So that'll be a book binge episode posting on the main channel, but it will have a collaboration with the second channel featured because it's going to be talking about movie stuff. It's book adaptations, so it is being tagged with the second channel as well, so that the audiences of both channels can see that video. Next Monday on the 9th will be Movie Magic episode 15, and that'll be talking about, I believe it's 15 films that I want to watch in 2026. It might just be 10, I forget, but I do have a list of movies this year, coming out this year, that I want to watch, and so that video will be coming out next week. On Tuesday the 10th on the main channel will be my review of The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas, which was the first book that I read this month, the first book that I read this year, so that review will be coming out next week. On Thursday the 12th, again on the main channel, will be episode 2 of the Wheel of Time Diaries for Gathering Storm, so episode 63 of the series. Friday the 13th, second channel, will be episode 2 of the Alan Wake Let's Play, and then Saturday the 14th on the second channel again will be the second live stream for Ghost of Yote. As long as everything goes according to plan, that is the schedule for the next 2 weeks. As for a little bit more of what I've got going on personally, last time I talked about finishing January videos and getting ahead on February content. I'm glad to say that I did get most of that stuff done. I do have, obviously, the rest of the January videos got finished on the day like I planned, which allowed me to actually work ahead on February content. Almost all of the videos coming out in February that aren't utilizing the green screen were already done, and were done before I did the office rearrangement. There's only going to be 2 exceptions to this. So, I have a few videos coming out in February that will still be the old office setup, but there will be a couple with the new office setup, plus a lot more with the green screen that I already talked about. I didn't get the Alan Wake Let's Play recorded like I wanted to, like I mentioned before, but at the time of this video's release, I'm currently working on that, so that was basically what I had planned for content-related stuff, and then I also mentioned the office rearrangement, getting as much of that stuff done as I could this past fortnight, and I'm glad to say that that task is completely done as of this video. That was the goal. It took a little bit longer than I anticipated or I planned to, but I also did a little bit more with that rearrangement than I initially planned to, but I still managed to get all of it done. You know, I got the desk moved, I got things reorganized and rearranged on here to adjust my workflow a little bit and make it a little bit better and easier. For the moment, I like it. It's definitely, things are more sleek and more convenient right now. I got shelves in my office moved around a little bit. I got the new corner shelf built, which is behind the green screen right now. All of my books are set up, like all of that stuff got done. I was thinking that maybe I would have to record some of my February content with the green screen because the background of the office might still be a disaster at that point. That specific fear was pretty much unnecessary. Like, I didn't need to worry about that specifically, so that is pretty nice. And furthermore, obviously, by the fact that you were watching this video, I did get the green screen and everything set up and, you know, done in accordance with how I wanted it. For the most part, I might adjust the actual spacing of the green screen a little bit so that I'm not cutting myself off so easily over here. I'm not 100% sure what I'll do there, but that's the idea. But in either case, I got that done. And for those of you looking to see what the office will look like in the rearranged form, at least on camera, I do have Tuesdays video, like I mentioned, the reading wrap-up and TBR, that will have the main video background behind me that you will be able to see in its glory on Tuesday. And then a little bit later in the month, so, you know, maybe not necessarily the place for this video to talk about, but later in the month, I will be doing my first bookshelf tour in like 2 years. And that tour will actually be covering so much of my office at this point that it'll basically be a new office tour. So I'll be able to show you guys all of that here in a few weeks, and I'm excited about that. But, you know, more than just as far as the content stuff goes, this is a little bit more personal, I guess. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to. I did get some more extra cleaning and organizing stuff done in my office as well, not just in video frame or around here on this half of the room, which is basically what I was planning to do. I also got a bunch of stuff on the other side of the room done, like in the office closet and with a whole bunch of other stuff. Got a bunch of things thrown away, got my little drumming and workout section of the office on the other side of this desk organized and put together. So the fact that I haven't done any of that for a few weeks, I'm finally going to be coming back to all of that. All in all, it's relatively low-key changes, but I'm very, very happy with how everything works right now. I'm going to put more effort into maintaining this space, the office space, but also, you know, myself a little bit better now that I've got this workspace that I'm really, really happy with at this point. Overall, just very excited to have a space that feels nice again, because I gotta be honest, through most of the last few months of 2025, this space got really kind of disastrously unkempt and disorganized, and I was doing a poor job of maintaining it. To be fair, I was also like gone a lot of time, and when I was not gone, I was too busy to actually deal with it. So I'm gonna try to do better about all of that kind of stuff. I'm holding out pretty well as of pretty recently, whereas in the last one of these updates, I was really, really struggling on a personal level. I'm hoping to keep all of that up as well. So, you know, that's how things are going. Sorry to be rambling so much at the end of this video. I apologize, but I appreciate you so much for watching it. It really means the world to me. For now, I've been your host, King Crusoe. You can call me KC, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.